Fizza, welcome to the Red Hot Truth. It is so wonderful to actually meet you face to face after speaking with each other on the phone so much. So welcome, first of all, and thank you for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you so much, Petra. Thank you. And it is a great pleasure to be here with you.
Well, we are both really high energy, so this is going to be a very interesting interview, which I love. But I'll try and keep us together, mainly for the audience's sake, right?
Yes.
So what we'll start off with is talking about who we're going to speak to today, because I think that's really important. And we had a discussion about what kind of women we really want to speak to today. We decided that we want to speak to these South Asian women. You know, you come from Pakistan, your experience and your story is relevant to those women. And even though the story can translate to women all around the world, today we specifically want to speak to the South Asian women because there is a lot of suffering at the moment with women, and so we want to really speak to those. So, and also what I'd really like to do as a side note is really to say to the Western women watching this is to encourage them to listen in, because we have such an idea of how things are, especially, you know, around arranged marriage and all of those things. But very few of us actually know how things are from speaking to someone like you, because it's all hearsay often. And so I just want to encourage understanding here and acceptance and acknowledgement, and also that we are all the same, whatever our issues we go through, whatever relationship stuff we go through, we're all going through stuff, right?
Absolutely. Being a human being, this is normal, I believe.
Totally, I agree with you there. So you got married and you moved to Australia
after 6 years. After 6 years of marriage.
Oh, so you were married and then for 6 years. Did you live apart for 6 years?
No. I got married in 2003.
Okay, so you got married in Pakistan. Yes. And then you lived in Pakistan with your new husband?
Yes, I met him. I talked to him, and we had a very good connection together and strong bonding. But I always requested him to take me away from this country. I don't want to live here, because once I got married, I married and moved to a very small house. And then I become a victim of sarcasm from his family. They start saying that, look, the princess living in a castle, living in this small dirty house, and this and that. That shattered me.
What's the reason they would say something like that? It's so interesting to me, because you would think that they would be happy that he married someone of your standing.
They got jealous of my husband, that he got the most talented and beautiful girl.
Obviously, I mean.
Because thanks to Almighty Allah, that in his whole family, I'm the most attractive and the beautiful person. And amazing. I'm proud of it. And I accept it, and I receive that with unconditional love.
Yeah, interesting. So you stay there, and so you asked him to get you out of the country, and he did. And then you guys came to Australia, but that's when things started changing a little bit for you. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you know, how your life changed in Australia.
Oh, dear. My husband came in 2008, December, and I came in 2009, May, to Australia after 6 months. And when I saw him at the airport, I was like, no, please God, whatever I sense it would not be true. But when he said, Fizza, we are going to our house. And I was like, wow, our house, wow. When I reached there, I saw two strangers in that house. And I asked him, who are they? He said, we are here and we are going to live on sharing. And I said, sharing? And he said, yeah, this is our room. And that room is so small. And I was like, oh my God, my dream, I had what I can say that I visualize a fantasy world that going to Australia is like a fantasy movie. Oh, huge houses, cars, and jobs are there for me and all that. Anyway, I was like, that's all right. At least I am with my husband. My daughter and I, we came in 27th May 2009, and I started my journey. And then I realized that this is the time to stand up for myself. And living on a sharing, it's not easy because that couple, they did not have kids. And I have my daughter, and she is another tomboy, very active, very playful, very, very naughty, but they did not tolerate that. Her.
Where were they from? What was their background?
They're from my country as well, but not from city, from some remote area. Anyway, we lived there only for few months, and then we moved to another place on sharing too. Then I asked my husband, because when I look in the mirror, I was like, my eyebrows, they are like a bush.
Before you go, were you working?
No.
Yeah, when you got to Australia, were you working? So you came over on a student visa, right?
No, my husband was an international student. I came to Australia as a spouse visa. On a spouse visa. Yeah.
And did you have the right to work in Australia?
Yes.
Yes, but you weren't working.
No, I did not get a job over there for at least one year. But anyway, I'm coming to that one, how I started. And I must have to share this, what changed my life. Being, as I said, I born and brought up like princess, and having like, okay, if I pointed this bottle that I want this bottle, if this is $100, it doesn't matter. I must have to buy that. I brought up like that with this attitude. When I came here, I asked my husband only $12 for my eyebrows. He said no, because he was the only working person. He was an international student. He working only for 20 hours. And he got a job in, 7-Eleven. And I know that was a struggling stage of our life. But $12, only $12. I did not realize the value of $12 until the day I started earning. I asked him $12 and he started asking so many questions. And I did not have a habit that people ask me questions. If I ask my mom, I need this much of money, she'd give it to me without asking anything.
So now he's asking you to explain yourself, right? So now so not only are you not working, you don't have your own income, you don't have your own freedom, but now you have to explain yourself. I mean,
dear. I was totally lost and confused. I had panic attacks. I had depression. I had depression for 4 months. I never ever had antidepressant in my life. I started taking antidepressant and doctors told me, take it half. And that half antidepressant just, it was like a addiction. I feel totally lost after that. My head is like I was not fully present. Anyway, when I asked him $12 and to give me $12, I cried for those $12. And I looked at the sky and I said, God, I'm not here to be dependent on someone and ask for money. I never, ever, ever asked for money. I never. If I said, Mom, I need this much money, she gave it to me straight away without asking what you are going to do, why you need it. So why today, and in this world where I have no one, only three people, my husband, my daughter, and I, why he's asking me 1,000 questions?
And this is such a reality. This is such a reality for a lot of women that come over to Australia from South Asia, and they're not working themselves, and they're fully financially dependent on the partner. And and this happens often with women because, and as you said, then they go to a very, very dark place because I would imagine you lose your self-worth. You start feeling like a child, like you have to justify yourself. And this is a real thing for women, and I've heard this time and time again. Our wonderful team member Shandini, she's from India, and she was expressing this. She knew a few women who were feeling this way, and it's such a powerless state to be in. You landed up moving to rural Australia, so
Yeah.
yes. And so that's once again a turning point in your life. Tell us about what happened there.
As we about to apply our residency, policies change, and I started working in BP, and I left that job. Imagine living in Sydney, went back to Pakistan, enjoying life, get back to the country, and moved to remote area, population of 1,200 people.
Yeah.
Totally isolation, totally isolated, no social life, nothing. And it feels like I am in the hell.
You said you guys were the only Muslim family in the region, right? And
Yeah.
then, and because regional Australia can still be very white and racist, you guys experienced a lot of bullying, a lot of discrimination, and that really affected you guys very negatively. And you spoke before about how the relationship between you and your husband really started breaking down. So tell us about that, because I think there are many um, Muslim families who are experiencing a lot of racism, and because of that, it actually causes a family breakdown. So, what was your experience of the breakdown with your husband? What happened, and what was the result of that? How did you deal with that?
Oh, Petra, it was like two strangers living under one roof. Our relationship was getting worse and worse day by day because he got bullied at work, and he was having a depression, anxiety because of that bullying. And I was his target of busting frustration. Whenever he comes home, he started bang 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 all the time, and he took out his frustration, and that leads to, and we started arguing on small things which we never ever had all those arguments. And then I realized that what is happening. And then one day what had happened, he was home and he was talking about something, and that small conversation turned into argument, and that argument turned into heated argument. And he started shouting. He was holding my hand like this and pushing me. And I was so shocked and surprised that what the hell is this? And when I
Yeah, because
started,
he started getting physical with you, right? I mean, he hadn't done that before, had he? So, I mean, that must have been quite scary for you.
and I was like, what's happening to him? And I asked him, what's wrong with you? And he said, go out, get lost from my life. You are this, you are that, because of this, because of that. He started blaming me for all his failures. Because I realized, I asked him what happened. And he said, because of you too, I am getting a job there, and people are harassing me, they're insulting me, I'm losing my self-worth, they are not respectful, they are doing this because of you guys. I am tolerating all this shit because of you too. If you go back to the country, I'm not going through this shit. And I said, why you are
Wow.
blaming me? Why? Because you are this, you are that. And
He was really just taking out his frustrations on you, right? He couldn't see that the people bullying him, it was their stuff, right? But you can understand almost, um, you can understand the behavior, because who does he turn to? And how often do we turn on the closest thing to us? And so, but you didn't leave, did you?
no, he opened up the door and he wanted me to leave. And I said, no, I'm not going to leave because I have no one here. And this is a small town. If I will leave just right now, then people are going to abuse you. They harass you more because you are working there and everyone start talking negative about you. And I don't want that because it's a small town. And if I talk to someone, anyone in this town about you, it is spread like a fire that they have argument and he's not good with his wife. And that affects our residency. And he become more angry and he was like, he pushed me. And thank God I control myself, but I started crying. I start hitting myself, my head on the wall. Like, okay, everything is because of me. Okay, I'm going to kill myself. And I was like, bang, bang, bang on the wall.
Wow. That sounds like a crazy experience for both of you.
Yeah, because we got in the dark and our own darkness where we lost hope and we see no light. And we were in work for the sake of living and getting the residency.
And it's so interesting because you have this idea of coming to a new country like Australia, you're going to be free, you're going to have a wonderful life, and yes, it's almost worse in the free country than it would have been in Pakistan, right? So then, tell me, like, I really want to get to the part where you decided you wanted to take your life and you had some guidance come to you, because I think that's such a beautiful story of how you turned your life around. So tell us about that.
And then what happened? I opened up the backyard door and I went to the laundry that is in backyard, and it was freezing cold at that day. And I locked myself in the laundry because I don't want any more argument because I had enough. I was hitting myself and I was hitting my head on the wall, and I got.
Did you get a headache?
Sorry?
Did you get a headache?
I did not. No, seriously, I did. I was totally emotionless at that time because I was full of anger and revenge that this is because of me and this is the time that I have to finish myself. And then I decided to commit suicide. And when I locked myself in the laundry, oh my God, he was banging the door, tack, 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 tack. And I said, get lost. I'm not going to talk to you. He said, it's freezing cold. You don't have a jumper. You don't have any socks. Come out. Come out. Otherwise, I'm going to call police. And when he said, I'm going to call police, that made me so scared.
Why were you scared?
Because of the fear of what other people think of me. That bloody hell fear. What other people think of me. I'm trying to protect my husband's reputation and he's trying to spoil my reputation. What the hell? And I opened up the door and I said, now tell me what you are going to do with me. Come inside with me. And I went in and I was sitting on the couch like a scary cat, head being like this. And I said, God, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And I'm going to commit suicide because I had enough. And at nearly 4:30 or 4:45, he said, go and bring my prescription. And I was like, wow, this is the time to escape. I took the car key, and I hugged my daughter, I kissed her, and I looked in her eyes by saying, I did not mention anything to her. And I said it to in my heart that I'm sorry. I can't live like this because this is not me. I'm sorry and I love you. And I control myself and I said, please, Nabira, please look after yourself. Okay? And look after dad. And the way I said it, I took the car. I went to the pharmacy. It was closed because it's 5 o'clock. And I was like, now it's your time, Fizza. Enough is enough. I took my car straight away, drive to the highway on 140. And thank God I found a road train around 2 kilometers away from my car.
Well, let's I want to make this clear though. The speed limit is 110, is it? Yes.
100 because that is
100.
immediately out of the town, and after further distance it's 110.
110, and so you were driving 140, and a road train is a truck. Because just for those people who don't know,
Yeah, road
it's
train in regional areas or in highway, those who never been to regional, road trains is written road train, the truck, the loaded truck with 2 carriages, not 1, 2 carriages. It's like a
Yeah, they're
train.
really big.
So
Yeah, they're big trucks. Yeah.
yeah, so 2 trucks. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I was crying because I have a regret that this is not me. I was crying because I have a totally different purpose. I was crying because I was feeling totally lost and confused. I was crying because my mom and my siblings, they were not there for me whenever I need them. I was crying that I was there for everyone, but at this stage, no one is there for me when I need financial help. So I keep on driving. My eyes were so blurry because of full of tears. I couldn't see what's ahead of me. And it's just about this much distance left, Petra. This much. And I saw my dad and my granddad.
Yeah.
They were holding the bull bar and they said, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm tired. I'm tired. I can't carry on like this. Enough is enough. Why should I depend on that person for each and everything? Why? I don't want to live like this. Let me go. And then my granddad, because he loved me so much. He loves more than my dad. He told me, the world is waiting for you. Millions of people are waiting for you. Stop this. Although I know that committing suicide is prohibited, is not allowed in our religion, but when I was totally feeling lost and confused, diving deep within my own darkness and having no hope, no love, no intimacy, no communication in my life, that made me like, no. I was crying.
And so it's such a crazy time, isn't it? When their helplessness, hopelessness is just so real. And I know so many women experience that, just that real, absolute hopelessness. And I mean, at least hope is something that helps us keep on. But when we just don't have it, it's sometimes the only option feels like to check out, and that's a big deal because our human desire is to live. Like our desire is to live, and to get to that space is a big deal.
And Petra, the thing is, I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is it. And also, sharing the story is so important because so many women and men, we're speaking to women today, but I also want to extend this to men, is that they are feeling hopeless and helpless and estranged from their family. And so the story is really helping them realize that they're not alone and these feelings are not unique to them, and that there is hope and there is guidance. And their grandfather or their father, whatever their spirit, whatever their guidance is, will come to them too. So thank you for sharing it.
My pleasure. But you know why I saw my granddad and dad? Because I am very, very strong person. I can easily sense things spiritually. I can easily sense things, and this is God gifted. And I'm really blessed that I saw my granddad and dad. They were holding the bulba, and they said, "Stop it now!" And thank God, I stopped the car, and there was no one behind me. I stopped the car in the car and just move it to the corner, and I get down from that my beautiful car, my dream car, and I spread my arms like this, like wings, and I look at the sky and I said, God, I'm all yours. Hold me, help me to walk on the path where I'm meant to be. Help me to achieve what I really want in my life. And I feel that my dad and granddad, they were hugging me. And I feel so secure, so good. And I feel like I'm gaining my energy back. I was regaining my energy, my love, my affection back to my life within myself. And that day, I realized that I am enough. I don't need anyone in my life. I don't need I don't need to depend on anyone for my happiness, for my financial support, for my abundance, for my worth, for my self-respect. I don't need it because everything is within me. And it is my time to open my heart to receive with unconditional love. It doesn't matter from anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter despite of age, race, religion, faith, or gender. No, I am open to receive.
And that's such an amazing gift to realize that. And that, from what you've told me, was probably your biggest lesson because, from a young age, you were given material goods, and that was sort of what it was. That was what love was for you, was material possessions. And to have that taken away from you and to have your family structure taken away from you, it's easy to see how you could your identity goes, your way of love goes. It's easy to see how you could have felt alone in that moment and to come to the realization that none of that really matters, that it really is about opening your heart and having the guidance and acceptance. That is a big deal, right? And from what I see from the culture you grew up in, material possessions are really important. It's like having the best handbag, having the something, and it seems to be an expression of love and wealth and whatever it is. So I think this message to women out there is you are enough. Without that is a big, big, big message.
Yes, Fizza. This is the time to serve and make your living.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I just I want to take one step back because I think women are going, wonderful. She now knows she has a purpose and she's like fired up. But we miss the step of how you got there. And I think that's really important because it's so great to know that, you discovered that you had a light to share, but moving from a depressive, suicidal state to where you are now, let's just bridge that gap very briefly of how you went about doing that.
In my me time is I decided to spend some quality time with myself. When my husband and my daughter, they went to bed, then I opened up my laptop. I searched for that person who offered me the help 2 months ago before trying to commit suicide. But I simply refused that person by saying, "You are very expensive." I did not realize that nothing is expensive than my self-respect, self-dignity, self-love, and my life. I reached out to her, I messaged her, and she simply said, "No, Fizza, you already refused me. I'm not going to work with uncommitted people. You are not committed." And I said, "No, no, no, please help me. I need help."
She was a coach, right? So she was a
Yes.
life coach.
Yes.
And so she, you had contacted her like a couple of months ago, and you were just like, I can't afford it because you weren't in a financial position to do so. And
I was in a financial position, but I did not see the value in that. After that, once I decided to change my life by just listening to my dad and granddad, then I realized, no, everything is within me. I need to take help. And I talked to that lady and I said, "Please, I can afford it. I can afford it. And I know you can help me. And please." And she was very flexible. And she said, "Okay, let's get into that work."
You decided, I am doing this, you committed, and then things just seemed to fall into place because you had decided. And so, and so just sometimes that decision is essential, isn't it? That decision and understanding, and the rest just follows from there, right? So you did coaching with her, and how did your life change?
Oh my God. When she started asking me questions, I was so surprised at how fool I am. That it is all stupid. Everything is within me. Why I'm blaming my husband? Why? It is all hatred and anger, sadness is all within me that I'm carrying since childhood.
Yeah.
That changed my life. That really changed my life. And that day I decide to be the coach. That day I decide to help people in transforming their life.
And also, we'll put your details in the interview because there's just such wealth of experience and love and passion there, and I just know you want to share all of it. That that's why you're looking at writing a book, because you have such amazingness to share, such light, as they say. That's because it's it. So, how is the relationship with your husband now?
Amazing. Because I committed to change myself. I committed to improve my relationship day by day, daily. If I feel like a single space, or if there is a single void, single vacuum, if it's a dot of a vacuum left, I take help and fill it up. Because without having any emptiness, you can't serve people. Your cup must be full of affection, love, and trust. Whatever you are conveying your message, like lack of love, trust, intimacy, communication, you are full of that. Only in that way you can serve people. Otherwise,
I love it so much. I mean, so many great lessons there. So tell the audience where they can get a hold of you. What are your contact details?
My contact detail is connect with me on Facebook. That is Fizza Kashif Khan. And please like my page, Fizza Light of Hope. And I have a group called Love and Connection Tribe. Feel free to join. And especially for South Asian women, I created one group that is called Desi Love, Trust, and Intimacy in Desi Wives. It is not only for Desi wives. Desi wives means Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Nepalis. No, this is all for all the beautiful women around the world. So in that group, I do one Wednesday on Facebook Live in English, and on Wednesday, Facebook Live in my native language, that is Urdu. So everyone from South Asian country understand that. And on Friday, I do Facebook Live in English. So I add values every day in that group. So it is very easy to reach out to me, or I don't want to share my number on that.
Yeah,
but
please, do you have a website?
Yes, I have a website that is fizza.com.au, but it is under progress, but it is already launched now. So you can easily get access to my website. And if you want, you can connect me on Facebook, PM me that, hey, I'm this. I watch your interview with Petra. So it is easy for you to just, for me to recognize, and I only accept people's request who got a profile picture, because I got so many fake IDs that I blocked. Please don't be scared to be visible. Stop being invisible, because this is your time now to show the world your uniqueness, your power, your worth, because you are beautiful. And don't worry, you are not alone. I feel you, I hear you, I understand you, because I was like you.
Such a beautiful final message. Thank you, Fizza, for sharing your beautiful story, your passions, your enthusiasm, your light. I'm excited to see the editors have a big job editing this down. I can see that. But thank you so much, and keep shining.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Thank you for giving me the chance to share my story. Yes, this is who I am. Everything is like an open book. I did not hide anything with you guys, even my love story, which I never ever shared. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Fizza. Hello, fabulous woman on fire. I trust that this interview helped you get closer to your red hot truth. So give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe. Thank you for supporting the Red Hot Truth, and we'll see you next time.